Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Wendy here from Little Nest Crafts. Thank you for joining me this evening. The video that I'm going to be bringing you now is the second one for Suzanne over at Non-Stop Paper Crafts, who has designed this beautiful kit called Typography Kit. And if you'd have seen yesterday's video, or should I say my previous video, I made this little ephemera holder with papers from the kit, and I've made it half the size so that you can make a little ephemera holder to pop all the little pieces inside a journal, or you can send it just as a little happy mail project. So if you want to see how I made it, just look in my playlist under Non-Stop Paper Crafts and you will see this little project. So I'll put that to one side because we're going to be doing something different. I won't tell you about all the kit because you'll see that in the previous two videos where I've shown the papers and things. So we're just going to dive straight in and do this little project. And what I'm going to be doing is using some papers from the kit, and I'm going to be using some little pieces that we've got left over from here, from making the ephemera. And all I've done is I've taken some scraps of card from leftovers. Some of them are plain white card, and then I've got little pieces like this because I'm just going to be doing some quick projects. This is one of the pieces that I've made, and it's just made of a strip, and I've put paper from the kit, and then I've just used some little labels and bits and pieces from the ephemera here, just to make some down the side of your page. So when you do your journal and you've got a plain page like that, you can pop one of these on the side there, and it just gives the page a bit of added interest. And I also want to make some hidden paper clips. So all I've done is I've taken a strip here, not measured it or anything, so it's really simple, straightforward. And all I've done is I've folded it in half and then folded two sides back, making just one's about 1/8 of an inch higher up than the other. So I'm just going to cut those two down so that they're both at the same level, and then I'm going to get myself some paper clips, so just bear with for 1 minute. So I've got some metal paper clips here, and I'm going to use not the longest ones. Let's have a look. Something that's sort of medium sized. And then all I'm going to do is pop that where we've folded that in half. I'm going to pop that onto there. There we go. Now you can actually fold that back if you want to make it smaller, but I'll leave this one for now. And then all we want to do is glue these two sides together. So that can go there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to trim these edges back. There we are. then what you can do if you want is pull the paper clip up a little bit, just so that you can put a dingle dangle or something on the side there. So I'm just going to straighten that up. There we are. So what have we got here? I'm just going to measure there, and I'm going to cover the front and the back. With some paper from the kit. So just tearing the white borders off because I forgot to print borderless. There we go. It's a really simple hidden paper clip this is. Just take my glue. Here we are. And I like that it's rough and ready. I'm not going to straighten the edges. And I like to have the back covered as well. So let's have a look what we've got here. That looks a nice piece on there. So we'll do the same by taking this down. And I'm going to pop that on there. And we'll just tear down that edge and just make sure that we've got everything stuck down, and then we'll ink the edges. Now then, let's have a look what we've got. Well, I've got a leaf here, which I think I might use, seeing as I put leaves on this little bit. And these are just from my stash that I've used with my Cricut to cut out. And let's have a look what we've got here. We've got alphabet and what we got. Yeah, I like that leaf, so we'll pop this on. And I'll put this alphabet label on. On there. And what we got? It's a little number. I'll save the number, I think. I think what I'm going to look for is a little butterfly, if I can find one. So same again, just butterflies from my stash. And I've got, they're all different sizes. So let's see if we can get one that's nice and small with matching colours. Yeah, so we'll just give that a little ink. And pop it on there. Yeah. So that's that side, just really simple. And just ink the back of the butterfly where they're poking out, and then we'll pop something on the back here as well. So what have we got here? We've got now we could have a little floral on there. Yep, I think that's just the right size. So we'll pop that on. And we'll pop this underneath. There we go. And I'll get a little butterfly for there too. There we go. So we've got a little paper clip there, and then I'll just see if I've got something that can if I've got a little piece of ribbon. To go through. Let's have a look. Oops, not having much luck with this. There we go. Snip that off. There we go. And then if you've got your page, this will just, if that's the top of your page, this will just slide on and sit nicely on the top of your journal page. Let me get my proper journal page. Have a look. What am I doing here? There we go. So that just sits nicely on the top of your page. So let's have a look for another one. And we'll do the same. There we go. Some more scrap. So all I do is fold it that way, get our paper clip, fold this back, same again. Then I'll just trim those two to the same level. And we've got some text there. Let's have a look. So I'm going to glue these inner pages. Like so. The same here. And then we'll pick some script. So I do like these pieces here with the circles on. So we'll come down there. Tear along the bottom. put this on the front part there. And just tear that along the edge. And then we'll keep this bit. And we can go some text on the back. There we are. Lovely. So we'll glue these together. Just sort of neaten the edges so they're not too scrappy dappy do. So lazy, can't pick things up. And we'll ink the edges. There we are. Now then, we could have R on there. Let's have a look, see what I've got in the way of another leaf or something that might look nice. And there. I have actually got some figures, which might be nice. Or, you know, you can dress these up, you know, make them themed. You know, how dress them up however you'd like, really. Let me just quite like that daisy. And we could have a letter down there. And we can have a little tab on the side, which I quite like. Use some of these little miniatures. I do think when everything's tiny it looks so cute. So we'll pop that on the side there, just to give it a bit of something. And then I am going to use the daisy. And we'll pop this little R. Down there. And maybe a little label. How about this little blank label coming out? Yeah. So I hope that I'm in shot and you can see what I'm doing. There we are. So I'm just going to snip that little bit of a leaf there. So let's have a look at this one. And by putting the one side higher than the other, it does make it easier for you to be able to slide them on. So that's the front of that one. So now let's think of something to go on the back. So see what we've got in the way of labels. I've got a little tag. So there's a couple of little tags there. Just debating what to use. No. No, not keen on that one. I think what I'm going to do as well is put a bit of lace on this one. And let's have a look. So we'll go down the side here. There we go. Got backspace. Yeah, that might be good. With a, how about one of these little tags in it as a tuck spot. If I can do that. And then I can put a little piece of string behind this tag. So we've got a little tag there that we can tuck into that tuck spot. I might glue that down. And let's have a look, see if we've got another number. Maybe or maybe a little plain tag there. Or what we got? What's a number 6 or a number 9? Yeah, I like the number 6, I think. There we go. So we've got butterfly on there needed. Let's have a look. Got a teeny weeny one here. I mean, how my Cricut cut that out, and it's cut out perfectly as well. Amazing. There we go. Just a nice little butterfly there. We've got a tag there. Excuse me, everybody. charcoal for the more orangey, wintry colours, or the darker colours. Yeah, put a little butterfly on there. It doesn't hurt, does it? Just adds a little bit of something extra. There we go. So we've got two little paper clips there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another of the strips, another one of these. So all I've done is I've torn the white edging off there, although if you come off the sides you're not going to see them anyway. So I'm just going to shake that around there. So we've got two pieces there. And then I'm going to tear a strip . Just keep that over there. And we'll tear that top bit off there. And just ink the edges. And we'll pop that bit down the side. Like so. I'll get another strip for this one. And I think we may as well just do the same. Yep. Ink the edge first. I just like to ink the edge because it just defines it a little bit more. And this is just copy of paper thickness on these sheets because it's the background pages. There we go. But because you're layering them up, it makes them a bit thicker as well. And I want to just come in there and there, yeah. So we'll ink the edges of there too. So what I'm going to do is look for a couple of flowers to go on there, and that I quite like because of the colour of the stamps and the green leaves, but just see if there's something maybe not quite so in your face. Let's have a look. A little bit big, that one. Quite like those. Yeah, I quite like the way that hangs off there. And that one too. I don't know where I got these from, but they were a set. Oh, there's that one. No, a bit thin. Yeah, I quite like those two, I think. But I'll just ink over them. There we are. So we'll put that on there. I'll do the same with that one. Oops. Right. So let's have a look what we've got here. Sorry everybody, I'm gone quiet because I'm thinking. Let's have a peep where that can go. I think I like it up there, just to hide that gap a little bit. And the same with that. And then I'm going to put that backspace in there. Oops. And maybe put the sword let's have a look. And we've got lowercase and we've got tags. Oh, I've got typo there. You can put that one in where there's a little gap. There. And how about this? No, don't like the clock. Invoice. No. Yeah, I like that little one. Sometimes less is more. In fact, could put the lace out again. Just take a little snippet of it to go underneath that. That's nice. And then we could put a little bit under there. Yeah, on that one. So we'll let the fronds stick out that way. And there's a little hole needed in this tag, and same again, we'll just take a little snippet of the come on through. There we go. Just trim those, and we'll stick him down there. And I'm just wondering if we can do the same. We've got a little tiny tag. Because there was lots of little tiny tags. There's one. See if there's a different shaped one. There's one. Let's have a look. No. Decided against that. So let's just have a recap. Tidy up the desk a little bit. So what have we got now so far? Put my snippets. Over there. So we've got 3 of these lovely little page edges, and they do look great on the side of a page. So you can either have them on this side and have them as a tuck spot, or that side to give a bit of interest down the side of the page. You can have them on the bottom. Oh, there's one. They can decorate the edge of envelopes. So, I do hope that you like those. So we've got 3 of those, and then we've got a couple of double-sided little hidden paper clips, and I think those will be nice little additions to this you can pop them on these little there we go. So we've got a little paper clip on there. And then we've got a little paper clip on here. That one sticks out a little bit more. So yeah, hope that you like those. I'll take them off so that you can see them again, and I'll take some pictures of them to put on the website. So thank you everybody for your support and for following my channel and learning my foibles along the way. My foibles along the way and putting up with me. And I hope that you'll join me for the next video. I'm not sure what it's going to be as yet, because there's lots of things happening behind the scenes with other designers, and so yeah, there might be some exciting things afoot. So I do hope that you'll bear my channel in mind and come back and see what we've got in store for the rest of September. Just straighten those up. Excuse my little pile of goodies, it is getting smaller, but I will be making some more things with it, and I will say good night for now, and we'll see you in the next video. So share the love, do go over to Suzanne's Facebook group page, see what all the other designers have been adding that they've been using with this great kit. I'll just pop that on there, you can see the other project that I made, and see what everybody else has been doing. There's been some fantastic items made, and do give them a like, subscribe to their channels, and it's all helps to get their channels seen. So until the next time everybody, thanks again. I'll say good night for now. Bye.